Welcome back to this continuation of this episode on the pre-budget with me, Glenn Costa, on Story Behind the Story. And I would like to give a general introduction to this very senior panel from the GCCI, starting with Sanjay Bab Amonkar, Senior Director General, GCCI, Rohan Bab Angle, Unit Head of Mandovi Pellets Mining Community, GCCI, Gaurav Bab Kenkre, Chartered Accountant, Member, GCCI Taxation, and Damodar Bhai Kochkar, past president of the GSI. Sanjay Bab, we were talking about roads.
Internal roads,
whatever roads, highways, I will come to highways, internal roads, the waterways, all these things. Now, it's what's happening, we see massive highways and at a breakneck speed. Some of these, some may not be properly planned, the signboards are very bad, service roads, they just cut like, but it's happening. बाकीचे काय नाही ना?
No, it is happening, but not to that with that speed which the highways are happening. So that is basically because of funding. The main issue is the funding. So at least the critical area.
Is it necessary for industry or not necessary? Only locals are affected.
It is necessary for the industry, especially for industry as well as tourism, as you said rightly, especially in the coastal belts. So those roads, some attention has to be given, and let's hope that in this budget some more allocation happens to these state highways. So
anything would be more than last time.
Should be more.
Damodar Bab, yes.
Yeah, you raised the point about the traffic congestion due to tourism.
Yes.
So
especially on coastal belt.
Yeah.
Not coastal
so I had visited many places. I go around people. So what you can do, instead of tourists going with their own vehicle in these, you can create a mass communication. What they are saying. See. I had brought Tata chairman here and made a meeting with CM also. They are ready to invest.
So you
don't have to invest.
Yes.
You give them the place where they need to put the transportation. Here the main issue is, anybody want to invest, first people will come and how much they will get. See, that attitude has to go. You have to think very clearly. If you want to put things in order, you have to be very firm. And the decision has to be taken. Now, if you make that route from Kalangut, Baga and all to taxi free or whatever, and run a shuttle service, all these issues will be sorted out. And the tourists also will like, because rather than going and getting stuck for a couple of hours, you park in one parking space, take a shuttle and go to the beach.
Why it's very simple. On coastal belt? This should be done in Panjim and in all these areas also. No? Why only this?
But everywhere you want something, it's not possible, no?
Anyway, okay, I shouldn't be talking about this, but this I cannot help now.
Because they even gave the rate. See, in 40 rupees they can run.
I remember this. You had spoken to me about when Tata chairman. I'll tell you now, Goa has a lot of garbage, right? Lot, no? You can see it everywhere. Now, I know people who have come to the government and told them that they would pay the government to clear the garbage.
That is a business
now. But today the government is paying so people to do such an inefficient job. So,
that also, see, if you, I don't want to get into that, but
1 minute will take that. I'll move on. Yes. Yeah.
See, some issues you should leave your interest aside and work for the society.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Damodar Baba. We'll move on. Rohan Bab, now this is something that, including for mining, is very, very relevant. You have to leave your interest aside and push. Because suppose if the administration is not serious, I'm not talking about the political side. I know the political side because it's their survival. Otherwise they will lose. Our attrition rate of MLAs is like 50% for so many years, and today this time most of the MLAs are BJP, so I don't know what's going to happen in 27. But suppose if the politicians are so interested in getting mining, they should put the administration, because there's so many small loopholes. Do you feel, this is what we can see from, we are not in the industry, what do you feel? If they want it to happen, it can happen, no?
Oh, see, basically what has happened is post 2012.
What should the government do to push this?
So I am coming to that. Basically, mining has been stretched between one side administration or bureaucracy and other side is the judiciary.
Okay. Second side?
Judiciary. Okay. So which means whatever the Supreme Court has laid down the rules, you have to work within those rules.
Correct. You
So
don't
which
have a
means
choice.
you don't have a choice. And in that case, the bureaucracy or administration has to be proactive. Like without a mining corridor, you will not be able to
There's
comply.
always going to be problems.
You will
on-
not be able to
from the
comply
court.
to the Supreme Court laid down
Correct.
road carrying capacity clause. It's a simple thing.
Yes.
Okay, which means that is the reason why what I said in the budget, you need a budgetary outlay. You can do it through DMF fund which is collected, or you can give it on the PPP model. You can do those things, but these things have to go through. Unless until these infrastructure things go through, you will not be having a without mining, without business interruption, because when it goes through the village roads or any other roads, somebody
And
is going to.
they get paid on number of trips.
Trips.
ते खूप जण जापाचे जाते.
Second thing, when you do certain simple calculations, like you are given now 11 mining blocks have been auctioned, okay, and there is a EC which is given to these mines. Now, if the road carrying capacity, if you do calculations, it doesn't support your EC. Now these are the big mismatches, which means
But these are basic things. What is the big issue on this? This is so basic.
No. So you need a infrastructure, because one side we say that we don't want to move out from the 10 ton or 12 ton tippers, because only by increasing the tipper capacity you can cut down on the road carrying capacity. Means you will have less number of trips on the road. So those are the basic things which are there, and unless these things are taken care.
This is something that the government should look into and do. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they have to do. I will give a very simple example now here, just away from the mining. When the natural gas came to Goa, the VAT was 12.5%.
Correct.
12.5%. Okay, and we made a representation.
Yes, we had gone.
We gave the neighboring states this one, and Chief Minister also supported us in that, and it brought down to 4%. Okay. Now you see, with 4% VAT, actual revenue from the VAT has gone up. Why? Because
Now
lot
we
of
see
companies,
clearly.
lot of
Yeah.
companies
They have taken up.
have taken up now natural gas in
It makes
place.
sense, no?
It makes sense. So
Even all hotel industry and all, it makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
So-
Instead of cylinder, cylinder
Yeah.
that it becomes
correct. So they have changed. They have changed the fuel, because natural gas is a very
It's much cheaper option.
green fuel. Now one more issue I want to just put it through the panel here is, green cess is charged on natural gas, which is something this one we are
Not logical.
We are going to make some representation also on that, because
That's amazing.
Is there?
GAIL and all there in other states there is no
No
charge
cess.
on green cess.
Why should it? I mean, like for
So
environment friendly
these are small things which are of administrative natures, which should be, if they are moved out, you will find that revenue goes up, because more and more people will opt for this. This is the thing. Now I will tell you about, now there is a consultation paper which has moved on the beneficiation also of iron ore. Now here also, unless until you come out with the incentives for beneficiation, you will not be able to do beneficiation.
especially for Goa, which is such a
low grade.
Correct.
Yeah. So you have to come out, because there are end user industries in Goa. There are mineral processing industries in Goa. There are beneficiation plants.
And not only in
there is a
Goa,
pellet
across the
plant.
border, kitne
Yeah, there are Vedanta's pig iron
Pig
plant,
iron plant,
which can utilize
Easily.
those if
Yes,
their beneficiation is done with the incentives. So those are the proactive. So budget is what? Budget is the outcome of the activities.
Yeah.
Now it is the figure. The chartered accountant will put the figure. Chartered accountant cannot create the figures. So
window dressing is
it is only that whatever the revenue that comes, he will put in, say that whether you have achieved or you are not achieved. But to make it happen, the bureaucracy has to be proactive, and Prime Minister of India is very proactive. He is coming out with so many schemes and all, and the state should support those schemes through the bureaucracy has to opt for that. That's why I gave a simple example was of that natural gas
Natural
VAT.
gas.
So if you do that, then yes, definitely it makes sense, and revenue will go up.
Yeah, thanks, Rohan Bab. Gaurav, now from what I see, from what you said, what you said in the previous thing, that we just raising taxes is not going to get us anyway. See, the minute it's human tendency. The minute you start trying to put pressure, people tend to hide. So if you open it out, that is the only way. But for that, is it a mindset change which is needed more than an operational change? I feel, because this is something that we've been talking, we are also part of industry. As industry, we've been talking, you give more liberty, you give more chance, and build the government and the administration just build support systems. I think the industry, Indians are famous for jugaad, yaar. This word I heard from the Air Force, Air Force Army chief. Yeah, that Indians are famous for jugaad regarding this, the way they use the drone system. You know, the sepoys have built down. So we can manage, we can make money. Industry can make money, but people should get off our back, right?
Correct. So
as a chartered accountant, which is compliance
yes,
is you. What
definitely. So you will see the effect of this. This thing is being done by the central government now. If you look at the union budget, they said up to 12 lakh tax.
Yes.
Increase threshold by huge amount.
Huge
you will see large number of taxpayers now suddenly jumping in because they tax-free thing. They'll declare more income. With that, they may get more loans. They may get able to do more business.
You don't have to hide.
So that signal has been given by central government that we are ready to trust, and now we are ready to open up the doors. So even the state government should take a cue from that. And as all the panelists have spoken, the Goa government will have very limited fiscal space
to raise taxes.
Yes. So now one is to go on that kind of thing, and the other idea is to go for central schemes. So I think I will discuss that.
We'll just take a small break and then we'll come back, because the central schemes, that from what I don't know, this Sanjay Babu and you probably will be the best people, but so much of the money is going back. It's not being used only in Goa. That's what.
That issue.
Okay. So now this we've been discussing this as far as the tax revenue and taxes and all that. After a small break, we will continue this discussion on this particular point. Keep watching. Welcome back. Gaurav, we were talking about this sort of a thing, like, how to give a freer hand, so people are incentivized to follow compliance, is to make money, because making money is not bad. Correct. So sometimes we feel like the way the government works is if you're successful means you're bad. Everybody jumps on you. Sometimes we get this feeling. Yeah, Gaurav. Yes.
Yeah, so I think from the central government we have got some kind of indication how they want to behave, so the state government can take a cue. The other point where we can take a cue is from the union budget itself. There are several schemes which Goa can directly or indirectly tap on. So there was a push on Heal in India medical tourism. We know medical tourism in Goa is already quite popular.
Yes.
The foreigners who are facing heavy costs and long delays in countries like UK and US, they prefer to come to Goa, do the treatment, have a mini vacation and go back. So can we push this much further? Can we have a package derived where we go and appeal to those people? You can go to UK, go to advertise there heavily, that within that same cost or much lower cost, you'll get instant treatment, because I believe in UK their waiting period is starting from 3 months.
For a small, like suppose you break your leg, you have to go to the doctor after 3 months. That means your leg is healed by then, whatever.
So they say time is the best healer. So that is the policy they are following there. But jokes apart, that's a golden opportunity for us. We can just piggyback on the central scheme. Then they had this Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, where they said that 100 districts with low agricultural productivity will be adopted by the central government. I think Goa is definitely lower on the agriculture side. At least one district of Goa we should somehow push to be included in this via the state government or even by the agriculture committee of Goa Chamber. We can push that, at least adopt one district from Goa, and that can help us progress. We have the Gati Shakti and Viability Funding Program. We have MOPA, which is coming up as a major transportation hub. So we can around that we can focus our things. Sanjay Babu said that there is funding problem for infra projects. The government has promised 50-year interest-free loans.
That can be taken.
Yeah. So that you can take.
Center has promised.
Yes,
to the state.
To the state. So since you have double engine, you have to may as well make use of it to the best extent. Already we are getting lot of benefits. You talk about all the highways. You are saying all the highways are good. It is all centrally funded.
Everything.
So even this we can somehow find what we want to do, align with what the center is trying to give us money, and join the two. You also have this PM Matsya Sampada Yojana, where they are talking about fisheries. They want to allocate 20,000 crores. Again, fishing is a major business in Goa. So around all of this, if Goa budget tries to get all these funds, then the significant pressure on the Goan budget will go down. and then you will have money to do actual other stuff which the Goa government, like for example, I think the Chief Minister announced few months back a brilliant scheme about low cost housing, because the real estate prices in Goa are going skyrocketing. So he had promised that 50 to 100 flats in each taluka will be given at around 15 lakhs per unit. So if that is coming up in this budget, or we can see some blueprint at least, because political considerations may want him to delay it to next budget. I am not sure how they will pan it out, but at least we see a blueprint, we see some more concrete action towards that. Then this is going to help in the overall economy and overall the benefit of the populace of Goa. And talking about this traffic issue and all of this, I think it is time that Goa takes a carrying capacity study, especially in the tourism belt, because we are looking at numbers. We want to increase, obviously we want tourism to remain as a backbone, but there will have to be a point where we have to take a call that, you know, beyond this I cannot fit in that Baga lane, I cannot fit beyond these people in that kind of lane. So I have to look at alternative options. So there are several other agencies who are, in their small level, they are trying to control this. So for example, taxi permits they will reduce, or taxi loans they will reduce. But at a holistic level, if you are able to control this unexpected growth, then you will protect the Goan economy, tourism economy in the long run. Already we are facing lot of pressure from foreign destinations like your Thailand and Bangkok, which are appearing.
Why foreign? You talk about Kerala and this Rajasthan and all. Yeah, they just like red carpet they're putting out literally.
Correct. So when we are facing this kind of pressures, it is imperative that we take the proactive step of preserving our existing strength, and how to continue keep being strong in that field.
See, there's one thing also, Gaurav, that the reason why people come to Goa is because of, not only because there are so many much better beaches in many parts of not only this country, not only abroad, even in the country, but because of the people and because of the way the hospitality and all. But today that tourism is no longer there. Today you go to a Goan restaurant for Goan food and the cook will be a Nepali.
Yes.
You go to the shacks, half of them are supplied to all these Delhi guys and whatever. So where is the
you can't talk in order in Konkani.
Yeah. So I don't know, Michael Lovo was shouting the other day, "Arey, about idlis and dosas are being on the shacks. Why are people going to come?" So that also some sort of and if we lose the people on this tourism industry will become like mining. Sorry, Rohan Babu. But because ultimately it's the people, no? Like people are living in all these tourism belts. If they start reacting, and these days it's become an issue because the way the people who come, many of the people who come outside, the way they drive and the attacking locals, violence is happening on the streets.
Okay.
So how long the police are going to give statement? No, keep quiet. Locals are not. It's not going to happen. They are going to react, no? Yeah, Damodar Bab, yes. तुमचे सांगणे कितें on this infrastructure, on this general, see basically a budget is to help Goans to make money. I know people are welcome, but ultimately Goans have to make money. So what do we need? GSI specifically.
No,
GSI,
I feel
GSI
GSI has given so many points. I don't know how.
Last year you will give the same points.
No, what happens usually? What happens? The points are being taken few days before.
Correct.
Actually,
It should be 6
all
months before.
Budget, they just manipulate the figures and the budget figure is ready. There is no deep thought going in, like how these people are talking about the basic. That thought process specific is not going. You ask him how much time CM has given them and how much time he had delegated to study this to the other people, IAS officers. I am sure that book might not have been seen by IAS people. Because if you study each and every point, you need to give some time for
because
this
it's
idea.
sector-wise. And these are only 6 sectors.
And it's not that 2 weeks before you study about budget and come out with a figure.
6 months.
It's a long term. See, 5 years, if you want to get a result at the end of 5 years, you have to start working now. You see the central plan, how they stage-wise they went.
Continuous process.
It's a continuous process. First they started with GST, slowly they came up now with a bigger figure. Now the economic, they are increasing. So similar way, that much thought has to go. You have to plan in the future, not like manipulate this and 2 days you keep a session, you don't allow anybody to talk, and just this kind of things won't work. See, everybody has to participate. If you want to make Goa, prosperous, everybody's
Such a small
thought
state,
has,
we
you
can
have
do
to
like
listen to
Dubai
their
or
thought.
anywhere.
You have to listen to the thought and then take action with a consensus.
What is your
No,
very
I-
optimistic state?
No, my optimistic one is that luckily for us, most of these points are not given 15 days back. Some of these points we are discussing for years.
1 year back.
1 year back,
Years.
years.
That's a good
No, some-
job.
correct. And maybe 6 months. Our taxation committee is very active. And some of what he was talking about, discount on VAT and all. This has been discussed not only with
Last
the
year I
Honorable
remember.
CM, but we have discussed with
Last
the
year.
department also. Mr. Gill also is fully aware. He's been briefed. So I would say that some points at least I hope that they will be considered because they have gone for a long term basis. One point I would just like to add, one problem which Goa is facing is right now of
One problem.
one
Smart
major
city.
issue. One major
Smart
issue is
city.
not smart city. It's about employment. Employment.
Okay.
So we have suggested one modification to the Chief Minister's Rozgar Yojana. It's one of the best schemes which has come out, I would say, in full of India, with an interest rate of 2 to 3%. Nobody is
And
giving it.
300 crores yesterday.
Yeah.
The
So what we have
EDC
suggested
300
them
crores
is
on.
right now the project cost upper limit is 25 lakhs. We have told them to take it to 100 lakhs, and also the existing 40% project cost ceiling for working capital, which is a major issue today, that people do not have working capital,
That's
may
a
be
problem.
relaxed on a case basis. So this point we have explained
What
to
is
them
the
also.
case, means what
Case
be
to case
relaxed?
basis,
No, what
right?
relaxation you want on that working capital?
40% of the cap. Suppose you got 100 crore of investment, only
So
40
40
lakhs you
lakhs.
can take as a
Working capital.
Yeah, working, and we told them to consider 50 or 60 because what people need today is a working capital. The money gets stuck in
many places.
yeah. So that's the thing. So this is some of the thing. And one more point which was related to real estate, which is a long-standing point, is the infrastructure tax which is being paid upfront. So we have requested them to do it on a milestone basis, as you pay the builder. Similarly, the infrastructure tax also, which can be done on a milestone. It will help the builder also, and people who are buying the flats also. So you can build on a stage-wise basis. So there is no stress on the funding which is happening by the builder. So this is one or two more points which I would like to highlight.
See, because suppose if this infrastructure tax and all is not this is not done, so it will be impossible for Goan builders to survive. All these big guys from outside, the sharks will come.
Correct. So they have got the capabilities to pay.
Yeah, but they have got capacity. They have got banks also.
Yeah.
No? They have more than themselves capabilities. They have people who can manage the banks. So that is not such a issue. Rohan Bab, final words on like mining. What exactly you need for actually mining to
start.
Okay, it's already started.
So mining is already started.
Yes, I knew it. But
11 mineral
for
blocks.
people to roam around in these BMs, convertibles and Merc convertibles.
People already roaming around.
So on a serious note, 11 blocks are auctioned already. That process is completed. 2 of the mining firms has already started the actual
Vedanta
mining.
has started,
Vedanta has
yeah.
started, Fomento has started,
Fomento has
Nagolpal.
started,
So these 2 things have started. Almost ECs have been granted to remaining things and are.
So what do you need from the government?
So basically this is the infrastructure. Basically it is infrastructure. Movement, because mining, if you see the mining, it is divided into 3 or 4 parts. One is the activity which happens within the lease area. There you don't need any government help. It is only the revenue that is once it crosses, it goes to the government. Number 1. Second thing is your transport. This is the challenge. This is a challenge where there are agitations, there are things.
Because you're going through villages.
So bypass roads are required. What we call mining corridors, bypass roads. This is required. Number 1, 2. Third thing is the port activities.
That is very important. I think not only for mining, even for business.
Business.
Because here we are going through road and shipping out through some other ports.
Yeah.
It's not
So
By the way, 2 cranes arrived in the port today. Today only there.
So port activities, port has to be active in doing the
more infrastructure.
more infrastructure, and end use industries utilizing the ores within Goa, so that government gets the revenue. Now today what happens when we get the ore from outside the Goa, there is a IGST gets between the two state and center. Now if you do it within Goa, the Goa government gets additional revenue in the form of GST. in a nutshell, today what I put is mine owner is not the biggest beneficiary of this, it is the government which is the biggest beneficiary, and push has to come from the government, and all mining fraternities and mining stakeholders will support it,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and make the rules and the regulations which support the industry.
Yeah. Thanks, Rohan Bab. Gaurav Bab, 20 seconds.
Yes.
Damodar Bab, 20 seconds. We are end of time.
So I think all of them have talked about a lot of wish list. The government has to find money for this.
Okay.
You find the money by the options have given either central funding or you reduce your expenditure.
No taxes.
No increase of taxes.
Okay. Damodar Bab.
Yeah, that's what I'm again repeating that thorough thought has to go into this and a proper, not only for this budget, so that in future you come out with a proper this picture for the Goa.
Thanks, Damodar Bab. Now, this is something that industry needs, and I think Goa has got so much of potential for so many industries. Pharma industry, it's got huge potential. So many like green industries. See, it's not only talk. We can actually put it in practice and get it done. Mining, okay, within limits, not the way it was going. Sorry, Rohan Bab, not the way it was going pre-12. But lots of industry Goa can be really prosperous. If you look at places with nothing like Dubai and all, and where we have gone, I don't think it's such a big problem for us. But hopefully, this very dynamic chief minister, young, dynamic, educated chief minister can actually put his thought in and get his officers to work and give a budget which Goans want for their prosperity, and he is also in the long run. This is Glenn Costa for a pre-budget SBS from Goa365.